Hi, Musanna. Let's take a look at this letter you sent to us. Okay, dear John, it is a great pleasure for me to stay in your house with your beautiful family in the next December. I, Musanna, will visit UK in the next month for the English and Homeschool program. I work as a university lecturer in my country, Bangladesh, and I am really excited to meet you and your family there. All right. For the most part, it's fine. There are a few things that I would like to change here, okay? Remember that the first thing that we write in a letter is the reason for our writing, okay? So this is okay, but it's probably not the most natural. Let's talk about why. It is a great pleasure is what you wrote. I think a better choice here would have been thanking the person. So instead it may be, Dear John, I would like to thank you for inviting me to stay in your house with your family. Beautiful family is probably a little bit too much. You don't know the people. It's some people don't appreciate being called beautiful or pretty or lovely or whatever. So, and then in the next December is also incorrect. So let's try it again, corrected. Dear John, I would like to thank you for offering to host me in your house with your family this December. I, Musanna, and you didn't have to say your name here. You could have just said, I will visit the UK next month for the English and Homestead program. I work as a university lecturer in my country, Bangladesh, comma, and I'm really excited to meet you and your family there. Where is there? Because you just said Bangladesh. So be careful with your pronouns. I think you really mean at your home or in the UK, in Manchester, in Bristol, wherever you're going, okay? So that would have been a better choice because this there is confusing. Albeit it is not my first tour in the UK, I would like to know if there are any suggestions for me prior to coming would have been a better choice here. Being prepared before coming is just awkward. If there are any suggestions for me, you could have also said regarding preparation before coming. Maybe that would have worked a little better too. Furthermore, you didn't really need. So instead, you could have said, why don't we do this instead? Get rid of furthermore and said, as I have a plan to visit the historical places in the UK, comma, I would like to request you to send me a good local travel agent number to book a tour. That would have been a great choice. You would have combined these two sentences. You would have gotten rid of this awkward further, okay? Also, I am preparing for the cold weather, seeing the weather forecast. Please let me know if you have any suggestion regarding dresses. However, I always enjoy cold weather, no A, and hopefully it will be enjoyable too. Do you mean dresses? Like, when we say dresses, we mean, you know, those things that women wear with no pant legs. So is that what you mean, or do you mean dress in general, like clothing? If you had said dress in general, then that would be okay. For your kind information, I will arrive on the 16th of December, around 6:50 in the morning. This is also a little awkward for your kind information. It's not really a very natural expression in English. So you could have just said for your information. All right, so again, for your information, I will arrive on 16th December around 6:50 a.m. in the morning. I hope it will not be a problem for you to pick me up at that time. Please let me know if you have any, again, problems. You could have said any issues because you just said problems. So use a different word here. Any issues. If so, I can come by a taxi to your address. All right, so just some changes there. Here I'm attaching a picture of me and also a copy of my ticket. I hope we will have a great time in December. I hope to see you soon. Yours sincerely. Okay, so this is Musanna. It's kind of a neutral style. All right, you referred to him by his first name. And a lot of your tone was kind of variable, really. I mean, some of it was formal, some of it was informal. You don't know John. You've never met him. And so, in my opinion, I believe this really should be treated as a formal letter. Okay? So, a little more formality probably would have been a good thing here. Now, just to be clear about what I mean about a little more formality, I mean, you did use some formal language, like, albeit it is not my first time. Please let me know. What else? And then again, you have please let me know. So I would like to request, all of this is formal language, but some of this is really not formal, okay? So let me show you what I mean. Hope to see you soon. Hope we will have a great time. All this is rather informal, partially because you've omitted the I, okay? And so this becomes a lot more conversational without it. And then also, remember that in formal language, it's not just the words we use, but it's also how we use them. So what we try to do in a formal letter is we try to be as indirect as possible. What do I mean? I mean, it's considered rather informal to say something like this: I hope it will not be a problem for you to pick me up at that time. Let me know if you have any problems, or as I suggested, any issues. All of this is a little kind of like a command, and so I would suggest using less direct language. So rather than please let me know if you have any issues, it could have been I hope this does not present any issues for you. Okay, so some changes like that. So anytime you say please let me know, it just sounds a little bit like a command. Even though you have the please, it's better to be a little less direct. So even this, like, I would like to know, would probably be a little better. All right, let's take a look now at your task 2. Okay, so now we go to the international marketing essay. Marketing policy and approach are major aspects in terms of business and economy. In this modern technological world, each and every business has the opportunity to occur globally. That's a wrong word here, occur. So international marketing is a recommended subject for business students, as not only for economical purpose, but also to spread ideas, language, and culture. On the other hand, it also sometimes is judged as a tool of invasion and intrusion into the country. Okay, so apart from some of the grammar problems that I see here, there's, I don't know why we're talking about just student. We're not talking about whether students should learn about international marketing, but whether the whole concept of international marketing is in fact positive or negative, if it is an invasion or an intrusion, or if it is a necessary and economical form of education. And where do you stand on this issue? So there are some problems here. You never told us your position, even though it asks for it. Okay, and basically the way you've structured your introduction kind of raises a red flag for me, because I'm thinking to myself now, okay, well maybe Musanna is going to write this from the perspective of a business student, and whether business students should learn about these things. Okay, if that's the case, then it's not going to be an on-topic response. But let's see what you did. From the 19th century, businesses all around the world have tried to sell their goods outside their nation, and this is the base of international marketing. From the Indian subcontinent, spices were shipped to Europe. From Africa, gold was shipped to Europe. Due to this international trading approach, the whole world is benefited from the previous countries to present. At present, all right, I don't like that, present at present. You could just say currently. International marketing has become one of the major subjects as in universities, and graduates are inventing new approaches to share ideas, culture, to improve the quality of international trade. There is no doubt that collaboration between multinational companies improves the economy of several countries. Not several, it's too limited, of many countries. More general. For example, Apple established factories in China for production at the cheapest cost. That's awkward. So instead, let's make it, for example, Apple established factories in China to produce its product as inexpensively as possible. Cheap is a little informal. We prefer inexpensive. As a result, both USA and China are directly benefited, which is a good example of international marketing policy. All right. What's happening here is that you've got a lot of different ideas. They are not well connected, and it just feels kind of scattered. And then the question, of course, is, are you talking about international trade, or are you talking about international marketing? So under the umbrella of international trade, we do have international marketing, but you haven't really talked about it. You've talked more about international trade. So, for example, all of this about spices and gold feels a little irrelevant, Okay, this was a time when you could have talked more about international marketing for education, for the spread of culture, for the spread of ideas, for the spread of language, and you didn't do that. All right, and then you talked about this. This is what I was worried about before, about being a subject in universities and so forth. So you didn't develop this. You just left like, well, look at this. It's just one sentence about this, and then you just kind of let that idea go. You didn't continue to talk about it. You didn't support it. You didn't explain it. And that's what you need to do. Okay? And then you talk about the economy of countries. But again, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the spread of language, culture, and idea, and being an economical form of education. So it's really off topic. All right? Now, let's move on. Albeit international marketing has several positive sides, there are also some dark sides of it. In several countries, powerful and rich international companies have tried to manipulate the decisions of the government. For instance, East India Company even ruled India for 200 years, which came here to trade. That's awkward. Instead, it should be, for instance, East India Company, which came to India to trade, ruled the country for 200 years. Okay. Even at present, several oil and gas companies try to manipulate several African governments for their own benefit. It can be said that most of the times these multinational companies become beneficiary by oppressing general people and their government. All right. What you have here is you have some ideas, but again, you're not supporting them. You're not developing them. So it really feels like a list, and we're just not clear on why you say that this is invasive and intrusive. So here you say that they try to manipulate the decisions of the government. Okay, how? Why? How do they try to manipulate the decisions of the government? Why do they decide to manipulate the decisions of the government? And then how does this affect the people? How does this become invasive and intrusive? Okay, so now for your conclusion. Concisely, it can be said that international marketing is essential for the growth and sustainability of a society. Get rid of this word. I mean, decide. Is it a society or a country? You don't start sentences with but. If you want to start with some sort of word of contrast, it could be however, or it could be yet. So, yet, it must be regulated with proper guidelines so it cannot become get rid of the A. It cannot become invasive and intrusive for a country. Okay, so grammar is an issue here. More so, it's your task achievement. Some of this answer did not feel on topic. Some of this answer did not feel well developed. And so, these are things that will absolutely affect your task achievement score. There were some nice elements of this. There was some good grammar. There was some nice vocabulary, but that wasn't sustained at a high level throughout your essay. And so it's definitely an essay that needs a little work. What I would like to definitely see for you, based on what I saw in this set of essays, is I'd like to see you sign on to the online course. I think you'll find the structure and all the advice and suggestions and lessons on task achievement, on coherence and cohesion, and of course grammar and lexical resources as well. I think you'll find them really helpful. Plus you get feedback on all of your essays. So see if that's something you can sign up for. I'd like to see you on the course. I think you'll really, really benefit from it. Okay? Good luck to you.